Today we will talk about Naamah, a character of great importance in the sacred scriptures mentioned in the Old Testament of the Bible. She was an Ammonite princess, the daughter of King Hanun of the Ammonites. Naamah's story is recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 14, verses 21 and 31. The biblical account tells us that Naamah became the wife of Solomon, the legendary king of Israel known for his wisdom and wealth. Naamah's life is shrouded in mystery, but we have extracted various important details from the Bible and Jewish tradition to bring you all the insights in this video. For this meticulous work, I believe we deserve your subscription and a like to help share our content. As the daughter of a king, Naamah grew up in an environment of luxury and privilege. Her marriage to Solomon, one of the most powerful and influential monarchs in Israel's history, was undoubtedly a significant political and diplomatic event. Naamah's connection with the Ammonites had serious implications due to the historical hostility between the Israelites and the Ammonites. According to biblical tradition, the Ammonites were often seen as enemies of the Israelites, descending from Lot, Abraham's nephew, and sharing the history of rivalry and conflict with the people of Israel. Therefore, Solomon's marriage to Naamah faced criticism from more conservative Israelites who feared that this union might compromise the purity of Israelite culture. Before all this, it is important to remember that Solomon had already been married to the daughter of a pharaoh, which was a legitimate royal marriage. However, he soon became enamored with various foreign women from different cultures, including Naamah. The bigger problem in this situation was his lack of control, as he accumulated an impressive number of wives and concubines throughout his life. In the first book of Kings, chapter 11, verse 3, it is reported that he had 700 wives of royal lineage and 300 concubines. Despite various warnings from his own mother about the dangers these different women could bring, Solomon seemed indifferent and continued to involve himself with women from different nations, such as the Ammonites and Hittites, who practiced different religions with foreign gods. However, Solomon was deeply in love with Naamah, making this marriage even more complex and impactful in his life. His love for Naamah transcended the cultural and political barriers of the time, leading him to make decisions that had negative consequences not only for himself, but also for the kingdom of Israel. Solomon's intense affection for Naamah led him to permit the worship of foreign gods, following the customs of his beloved wife, thereby compromising the fundamental religious principles of Judaism. Solomon's story is a striking example of how a king who initially worshipped the one true God could deviate over time. The Bible tells us that although Solomon began his reign worshiping the Lord God, he eventually succumbed to the influences of his foreign wives, including Naamah, and built altars for their gods. It is important to note that Solomon was not the first king to break this rule. His father, King David, also had multiple wives, indicating a pattern. In fact, the Bible in Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 17, explicitly warned that the kings of Israel should not have many wives, as this would lead them astray spiritually. Surprisingly, Solomon, a man so wise in many aspects, did not follow the scripture's advice and strayed from the right path. Despite yielding to temptations, it is worth highlighting how well-known Solomon was for his wisdom. One of the most famous stories illustrating his intelligence involves two women claiming to be the mother of the same baby. Solomon proposed an agreement to divide the baby in half, an idea that distressed one of the women, leading her to despair and plead with the king not to do so. This way, Solomon discovered the baby's true mother. His wisdom also extended to a wide range of knowledge, from understanding nature to composing proverbs and songs recorded in the Old Testament in the Book of Proverbs and the Song of Solomon. Jeroboam would become the king of 10 tribes of Israel, while only one tribe would remain under Solomon's and his descendants' rule. This prophecy by Isaiah indicated that the unity of the kingdom of Israel was about to be divided. Upon learning of the prophecy, Solomon saw Jeroboam as a threat to the continuity of his reign. Fearing the loss of his power and influence, Solomon took drastic action and tried to assassinate Jeroboam. This desperate act revealed the growing tension within the kingdom of Israel. However, after Solomon's death and the ascension of his son Rehoboam to the throne. Jeroboam reappeared as a central figure in the ensuing conflicts. The fulfillment of Isaiah's prophecy triggered a series of events that led to the division of Israel into two kingdoms: the kingdom of Israel, led by Jeroboam, comprising the 10 northern tribes, and the kingdom of Judah, led by Rehoboam, consisting of the southern tribes. This division marked a tumultuous period in Israel's history, known as the schism, which had lasting political and religious repercussions. Rehoboam's reign and his disastrous administration represent a critical turning point in Israel's history. The increase in taxes and Rehoboam's unfortunate decision to ignore the people's concerns quickly weakened his authority and led to a period of decline in his reign. The economy weakened, political stability was threatened, and popular dissatisfaction persisted. Eventually, Jeroboam became the first king of the Kingdom of Israel after the division of the kingdoms of Israel and Judah. Jeroboam took drastic measures to prevent his people from continuing to worship in Jerusalem. To maintain religious control, Jeroboam made 2 golden calf statues and placed them on altars in Bethel and Dan, encouraging the Israelites to worship these images instead of going to Jerusalem. This controversial decision had far-reaching consequences, as the golden calf became a symbol of apostasy and idolatry in Israel's history. One day, when Jeroboam was making offerings at one of these altars, an unknown prophet appeared and predicted that a descendant of David would one day destroy the pagan altars and even burn human bones on them. Surprisingly, his prophecy was fulfilled centuries later when King Josiah of Judah carried out religious reforms and executed the actions foretold by the unknown prophet. Naamah's story reminds us that even the wisest and most powerful leaders can be led into sin and apostasy when they allow external influences, such as political marriages and alliances, to corrupt their devotion to the true God. Solomon's decision to build altars for his wife's foreign gods under Naamah's influence ushered in a period of spiritual decline and political conflicts that culminated in the division of the Kingdom of Israel. The story of her influence over Solomon is a vivid reminder of how wisdom and faith can be tested even at the heights of power and success. Therefore, it is a story that urges us to consider the influences that shape our own lives and the importance of firmly upholding our principles in the face of temptations and external pressures. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below and subscribe to the channel to not miss the upcoming content. Have a great day.